Hello everyone, it's Jeff. I'm here with an update video from what I had yesterday. Let me just adjust this camera a little bit. I did my rant video yesterday about the records that I bought, and out of the 28 or 30 albums that I got, I picked what I considered to be like the 7 worst candidates as far as dust and dirt and scuffs. And I cleaned them with my Spin Clean and a Turgiclean solution, which could be a topic of a future video. And I've mentioned it, I think, in the comments to some other people's videos. I don't use the Spin Clean solution because it's just too weak. It doesn't get enough dirt off. And Turgiclean, it's sitting over there. It's a little tube of a chemical, I guess, and you add 20 drops of it to a gallon of distilled water, and that becomes your cleaning solution. It works very well for most applications, but like I said, a lot of the records I bought yesterday were fairly heavily dusty and dirty. So I ran those 7 records through 10 revolutions in each direction, rinsed them off, and I dried them. And of those 7 records, only 2 of them passed, my ear test as far as background noise and crackle and pops and stuff like that. Funnily enough, that Rush album that I showed, the first Rush album I got, and I didn't think it was going to turn out to be anything, is one of the 2 albums that sounded the best. So, go figure, right? So, you can't see all 5 of them here. Let me turn this camera. I've got the other 5 albums here. I've got, this one here is the Doobie Brothers, What Were Vices Are Now Virtues. This is the Doors' first album. This here is Chicago 8. And these 2 records here is the live REO Speedwagon album, You Get What You Play For. I screwed up on the Doors album. I thought I bought both the first self-titled album and the Soft Parade. It turns out I got the cover of the Soft Parade, but the actual record was of the Doors self-titled album. Go figure. This guy had a lot of records and sleeves that didn't belong. And actually, I found the Johnny Winter album that I showed yesterday actually contained a Grand Funk album in there that was completely different from what was supposed to be in there, and the Johnny Winter album was off in a different album sleeve. Weird. It's like every single one that I looked at was like a surprise. Like, is this going to be right? Is this going to be wrong? Am I going to get the right record here? Anyway, the point of this video, and I'm trying to get to that as quickly as I can, is I've got nothing to lose with these records, and even though I've mentioned in the past that it's probably not the best way or the most economical or quick way to clean records, cleaning with wood glue is pretty much your last chance or your last ditch effort to try to save a record. And since I pretty much have nothing to lose with these 5, really the Doors and the Chicago ones are really bad. So if I happen to screw up on using wood glue, which I won't because I've done this several times before and it'll be fine. If it doesn't do the trick, then I'm just going to pitch them. But there is a chance. It doesn't always work. It's only worked in a couple of isolated instances where it's really improved the sound of the record. But there's always a chance that this will work. So I was going to show very quickly how to clean your records with wood glue. And this is going to be, this is to be continued because this glue is going to have to dry overnight. And tomorrow I'll have to come back with another video where I peel the glue off. And maybe I'll see if I can do a quick play test on one of them just to see if there's a improvement. So what I've done, and I'm just going to tilt the camera again. What I've done is I've got 5 bowls, like 5 small bowls, turned upside down with a towel towel draped over it so the record has a soft surface to sit on and it raises it up. And then I'm going to spread the glue out in an even layer and just spread it out with my finger. I've seen in a lot of videos people put them on old turntables and they use these big paddles, plastic paddles, and they're spreading the glue real fast, and all you got to do is just run it around, run the bottle around in circles, put a nice amount on the record, and then just smear it around with your finger till it all blends together into one layer, and you just let it dry. That's all there is to it. It's pretty simple, but like I said, it's time consuming because the glue has to dry for at least 12 hours, but overnight or coming back the next day is even better, just to ensure that there's no wet patches or anything. And if you put this glue on too thick, sometimes the top will set and form like a skin, and what's underneath won't dry very quickly, or sometimes not at all. And then when you try to peel it off, it just gums as you peel it. So you have to put enough on to have a fairly even thick layer, but it can't be too thick, so it'll dry all the way through and do what you want it to do, which is, work its way down into the grooves of the record and pull out all of the dirt that is in there. So let me see. I'm going to tilt this down a little bit more. Let's see. And this is going to be the record that I'm going to do. Let me back up here. I know I'm twisting over to be in the frame, but this is just to see what I'm doing and not my pretty face. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to, if you can see, just going around and around in circles, putting a even layer. I'm staying out of the dead wax area, but I'm just trying to coat the grooved surface of the record. And as you can see, it's slowly starting to blend together to where it looks fairly even. And then I can take my finger, hold the center down so the record doesn't slide, and just start swirling it around. Hope you can see this. I will show you the final product when it's done. And you can tell that you put enough on because you don't run into any dry patches on the record surface. So you just swirl it around, spread it, it all kind of blends together and forms one layer. Very simple, but it can be easy to screw this up. Basically, if you only put, if you skimp on the glue. If you try going too light with it, see, like you have to go back in some places and add more. If you feel your finger dragging over the surface of the vinyl, it should slide with the glue as you're spreading it. And then as you go around, cover the grooved area from the edge to the dead wax. I kind of stay out of the dead wax because, that part doesn't really need to be clean. I just go around like so. Until the entire surface is covered. Like so. Okay, got a little piece of paper towel here just to clean my finger off. I can show you, I'm just going to lift this up and show you. It should look something like this. It looks a little wavy and a little thin in places, but it all blends together over time. And it will all become one uniform color as it dries. And that's it. So I'm going to tilt this back up. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other 4 records. I'm going to leave them dry here overnight. And tomorrow morning, I will be back with the part 2 of this video, where I try peeling off the glue. If you do it right, it all comes off in one piece. And I'll give it a play test, and we'll see how it goes. I probably should have done it before on this, but trust me, all 5 of these sound different degrees of bad, but they all sound pretty bad, trust me. So the only way to go with these records is up. And as I said, if it fails and it's still crackly, then they're just going in the garbage. So for situations like this, where you've tried cleaning your records, with your standard usual method, and it doesn't work, and you figure you'll give it one more shot to save it and hope for the best, then try wood glue. I wouldn't use this as your first method of cleaning. I wouldn't use this as your regular method of cleaning because, as I said, it's very time consuming. It's going to take me all of today and then all of tomorrow just to do 5 records. And my dining room table is taken up with them. So, it's just for certain situations. But if the gods are smiling on you and all the planets align, every now and then it does work and you can save a record. So, all right. I will see you guys tomorrow with part 2. Peace.